Hey, how you doing? It's me, Tony. Listen, we gotta talk. I mean, this whole thing you're trying to do with the ladies, it's not working. So you know what you gotta do? You gotta tune in to Christopher Meneses, his podcast, alright? It's called Bad Hombres. Don't be a stunard.
So dark, can't see a thing. I hear a song of the broken beat. Give me nickel, give me dime, give me dollar.
Check. What's going on, guys? It's your man Chris here again with another episode of the Bad Hombres podcast. I have a very special guest. Is the man that introduced me to the red pill. His name is James. And today's subject is something really important because there's a lot of you out there that are living by yourselves and you guys don't know. You may not be happy because society and everybody around you tells you that, hey, you know, you're getting old. You should just find yourself a good girl, settle down. And you know what? That might be nice to be with someone, but it might not be the right time for you. So we're just going to talk about, you know, how to live your life, how to be happy living by yourself. And if a right girl comes along and you want to give it a shot, that's fine. But in between now and then, you know, what are some of the things you can do to live your best life? Am I right or am I right?
Hey, Chris. Yeah, man. It's number one, it's great to be back. And, you know, this is an interesting topic. And do I think you're right? I do think you're right. I've been single for over 2 years. And it's been probably the most personally productive time. I had the most self-growth and definitely had more female attention than I knew what to do with in comparison. A lot happier. It's kind of true. There's a lot of societal pressure from, you know, everybody thinking, oh, you're getting older. Why don't you settle down? Oh, do you want to be alone your whole life? And, you know, and it's just, you know, I think guys are running around trying to find something when they really should be focusing on themselves, you know. I'm sure you've mentioned it before, but like chasing excellence and becoming the best version of yourself. At least I've found that seems to draw more female attention than kind of running around, you know, chasing girls and thinking that if you don't have a girlfriend, you're not in a relationship, you're somehow behind the eight ball or, you know. But I don't know, personally for me, I'm finding it a great time. Like, I don't know about you, but like I'm really, really enjoying this experience, right?
1000%, man. Honestly, oh man, I was gonna say something. Yeah, it's definitely nice to be single. It's nice to have somebody that elevates your life, you know, and it'll come with time. You just have to be very selective about who you decide to give your loyalty and your commitment to, right? But the worst thing a guy could do is to be in a relationship just for the sake of having a relationship. You know, just because you feel like just because one girl is better looking than the rest, you think you're never gonna do as good anymore. You have the wrong approach in life. You know, I think that the more I focus on myself, on my health, on my purpose and my mission in life, and the less, you know what? I call Donovan Sharp. I call his show. Yeah. I know him. I got his cell phone. I text him sometimes. But when I called his show, he did say something. He said that if you make woman your purpose, you're never going to find it. Wow. And then he told me, because my call went like this. I said, hey, Donovan, you know, I've been single for like 7 months. I'm going on all these dates. I don't have fulfillment in my life. I don't know what to do. Like, my purpose was to get up in the morning, be a provider for my household. Right. I had a girl and 2 dogs and the whole thing. That's gone. And what do I do now? Like, what's my motive? And then he's like, first of all, never make a woman your purpose because you're never going to find it. Second, maybe the change of scenery will help. So he's like, you should travel. Bro, literally. So he told me that on like Thursday, I think. When I came back to Toronto on Saturday, I booked a flight to Costa Rica for December. And it really did open my eyes. It really let me know that, hey, fuck, I have family. Like, that's my purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah. I might not be a father anytime soon, but I'm an uncle, I'm a cousin, I'm a brother, I'm a son. There's people that look up to me, right? So it gave me a huge vision to come back here and say, fuck, if I work hard and I think about like opening businesses and being able to employ family members, I have all these ideas now. You know, it was a great advice, travel. So that's one thing you should do when you're single, because you're able to afford it. I mean, I guess you could, depending on your financial situation, is try your best to take a trip somewhere. Because, I mean, you lived overseas in Asia and whatever for God knows how long, and
a very long time.
That opened your eyes a lot. And then you come here with a whole different perspective. I came here looking at all these people that are like sleeping with their jobs and everything. I was like, man, knowing how people live back home, and I'm here with that mentality, that survival mentality, I'm ready to take over the world again. Yeah. You know? And I want to keep traveling. You know, I don't want to go more than 6 months without being on a plane. Like I fly every week, but meaning like just even if it's for like a long weekend vacation to New York, just because then that's a different culture. You know, looking at different cultures, it fucking helps so much. Like, what's your take on it? Because, okay, maybe I went to Costa Rica. That was a different culture. It's still westernized. Yeah. And, you know, when I go to Ottawa and Montreal, that's still... But what is it to be like in Asia and Thailand and all these places where you've been?
Yeah, I think you really have a point there. I mean, I did travel, you know, for a good 10 years. I was in and out of Canada. And I guess total, I spent about 6 years living in Asia. You know, and beyond the travel and, you know, exploring a different culture and things like that, I mean, just to really make it, you know, center it, you know, pertaining to the podcast topic, I can tell you that the relationships I noticed between men and women and the way that, you know, guys and you know, they look at their girlfriends or their wives and the mentality they have of each other, it is totally different. There is no sort of that third wave feminism, you know, that has not creeped into the third world. Yeah. Right? It hasn't at all. And you can see it. It's, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is when you, like, I did date there. I did, you know, I went out with girls and it was totally different. Like, it's almost like without being, I guess what people call like the, you know, the, like misogyny, right? Or, you know, you're part of the patriarchy, you know, something like that, right? But it's like women sort of have a more traditional view of what their idealistic man would be. It seems like it's very used to be like maybe with the way it might have been here in the 50s and 60s, you know, the strong sort of provider, alpha type mentality, right? And, you know, guys are looking to, you know, build a career and be a provider. But, you know, obviously in those countries, you know, they sort of like live to work. Here we sort of work to live, you know what I mean? And, you know, they do seem to spend a little more time with their family and when they go out with each other and, you know, families and girlfriends, boyfriends. I did see a lot more loyalty in terms of relationships there. But so many of the guys are running around like cheating on your girlfriends, you know what I mean? Like there, it's just whatever. It's like no big, you know, not to say it's not a big deal, but it's so much more just like accepted, right? Like guys are a certain way, girls are a certain way. You know, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but the lines are not blurred. Here, it's very all over the place, right? Like, you know, they want to feminize men. They want to masculize women, right? They want, you know, obviously I'm for equality, but the kind of equality, they're not, you know, as they say, right? It's like, natural. Yeah, like equality of what? Like not equality of outcome, right? Meaning that, you know, survival of the fittest, the cream's going to rise to the top, whether you're a man or woman, right? You know, that's either way. I mean, and working over there was the same sort of paradigm, right? And there were women in power positions, right? But they were very feminine, you know, and there was always that sort of like regimented sort of situation, right? And it was a lot easier to get along with girls over there, for real. I mean, yeah, you fight, you argue, right? I can tell you here, I had I'm sure I'm not alone, right? Like relationships are difficult for guys and girls either way, right? But I mean, I just being single now, I'm happier than I was being in a relationship here for some reason, right?
What do you do? Let me ask you this. Because guys will probably ask this too. Like, don't you get lonely? Like, don't you have your needs? How do you satisfy the need of companionship? And I don't mean companionship like you're my boy, you come here, we're going to watch a fight, whatever, together. Yeah. I'm talking about going to bed with someone, waking up next to them. I mean, at the end of the day, women are beautiful. And it's not like we don't like women. It's just like, it's a weird dynamic. Man, this is the thing with the red pill, is once you take it, you're gonna like women a lot still, but you're not gonna like them as much as you used to. Yeah. So how do you keep yourself busy, entertaining? How do you deal with those feelings where, fuck, you know what? It would be nice to fucking wake up next to a girl, and it would be nice to be a man and be like, baby, I'm gonna change your tires. Gonna take your car for an oil change. You know, I feel like that gives a man like his purpose. You know. Yes. So what do you do to keep yourself busy and enough that you don't think about those things?
That's a really great question. Number one, about, you know, once you take the red pill and you kind of go down that rabbit hole, for sure, you're sort of, you know, I do view women much differently, but I think I view them a lot more pragmatically. You know, the illusion has worn off for me, right? I don't see a woman, and, you know, like I love women. I think they're great, and especially, you know, I know when they want to look good, and they want to look good for attention, and they want to look good for what they want to look good for, and, you know, when they get all done up with their makeup and this and that, I really appreciate it. Like I can appreciate their beauty, but do I feel lonely sometimes, not having that traditional sort of relationship where you're constantly with somebody, you have that constant companionship, right? Like, hey, let's go watch a movie, let's go grab a bite. You want to wake up, you want to cuddle with them at night and things like this, right? And obviously the intimacy that is sort of there all the time, right? Well, then again, I know a lot of couples that they don't really have that anymore because they've been together so long, right? So, yeah, but I mean, when I do want that time, like feminine attention and, you know, intimacy, companionship, to be honest, man, it's as simple as just picking up the phone. Like, I don't know how to say it. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not. Like a roster or something? Someone's got bitches on the phone. I can say that I do more enjoy the fact that when you want to have it there, you can enjoy it. Yeah. But when it's done and you're finished and you want to get on with your business and what you have to do, that's that. Right? And as long as it's very clear and it's understood, I don't see a problem with it, right?
That's the thing, right? I feel like you could have that arrangement. That arrangement always has a very short shelf life, I find. I've never had an arrangement like that with someone longer than 6 months. You know, back in the day, on my blue pill days, I had this arrangement with this girl. We used to watch movies, hold hands and whatever, but it was known to me that we were just there to fuck around, and I knew she probably has seen some other dudes and I was seeing some other girls, and this was like 4 years ago. But then I'm the guy who catch feelings for this Persian girl. I was like, man, I'm really liking you. Like, we went literally, this is what happened. Spent a weekend together. We did what we did, right? This is 2016, right? So I got the statute of limitations, right? I can talk about it because she's history. But we were smashing all weekend. Fucking, we went to watch Zootopia. It's like a cartoon, whatever, right? And when we finished, I told her that, you know what? Like, this summer we spent so much time together. I'm really liking you. Literally, let go of my hand. I never saw her again.
That makes sense to me, actually.
And I was like, wow, it opened my eyes. Not recently, because for like the last while, I haven't gone out and stuff like that. I've just been focusing on work and myself. I am talking to someone and whatever, but that's a different story. But, you know, I've had arrangements like that last summer where I was seeing people and then they caught feelings. You know, I probably got asked 3 times last year, you know, where's this going? What are we? What are we? I got asked, what are we? Like 3 times.
More like, what are we not?
Yeah. And I just don't want a situationship. Where's this going? Like, she's just using me. I'm like, I never said I wanted anything serious. Like, we had this agreement from the beginning. From the beginning. So, yeah. I mean, fuck. I think that... So because the podcast is about a single guy being happy with life, right? So we talk about traveling, and then we're talking about meeting your sexual needs and the needing of companionship with females. It's easy as just picking up the phone, like you said, because, dude, when you put on your Tinder bio, for example, I'm just here for a good time. I'm not like my Tinder bio at one point. It was like, if I just want to have a good time. And I'm just here to fuck. It was something outrageous, and I knew I just wanted to make didn't want to beat around the bush. I want to be something clear. And my Tinder was like, you know, if you're 20 to 25, you know, I just want to fuck. And if you're 25 and up, I'll take you on a date. It was something fucking ridiculous. And you know what? The girls were there. Yeah. So you don't really have to play with anybody's feelings. If you need to get an oil change, you know, in your system, the shit's out there. You just have to be careful, be safe, wear protection, all that stuff. But yeah,
it's funny. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Like, I mean, personally, I mean, you know, right? Like, I don't have any of these dating apps, right? Maybe I'm just old school. Like, when I want to get with a girl, where I'll actually like just approach her cold and like actually speak to her, have a conversation. Whether they can or can't, that's what remains to be seen, right? Once you approach them. But I'll tell you what, I do feel that I think guys spend an inordinate amount of time chasing women, skirt chasing, worrying about it. And then I kind of came to this realization, being single for this time, I don't need the validation of a woman to feel complete. So I do know that when I do, or if I eventually meet someone that I think, okay, I want to lock it down and sort of have like an exclusive situation with them, I'm the best person I could be by myself. So I'll be a better asset to them because I don't need to feed off them for my own validation. I don't need to have a girl tell me, I think you're this, I'll think you're that. I know I am. I know that. And every day I'm getting stronger, and every day I'm getting like wiser, and every day I'm building my company, and I'm chasing my excellence, becoming the best version of me. That does attract a lot of female attention. Yeah, you want to make your dent in the universe. I love, Richard Cooper says that. That's so true. That speaks to me. But, I see like a lot of my friends and colleagues and people that I've known in the past. I mean, I would say they're blue-pilled for sure, right? But the way when you talk to them, they feel like without a woman in their life, without a relationship, without somebody to make them feel like a man, they just don't feel like a man. They feel less of a man, right?
But the problem is they're in these relationships and they don't get enough sex. Yeah. And it's almost like this frustration. Like, it's fucked, man. I've been in that situation, and it's not fun.
I've been there.
The whole happy life, happy wife. What do you want, baby? God damn, bro. Every time I hear that, and the worst is when I hear that from family members. Oh, I just feel like, man, and like my family knows how I am now, how I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And it's just unreal. Everybody's trying to hook me up with their sister and their mom and their cousins and their daughters. My mom's got so many friends from her work that all want to introduce me to their daughters. And I'm like, well, if you knew how I was, why would you do that to your poor daughter? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, you know what I do? What gives me fulfillment is the gym is probably the number one thing. Fitness goals are unbelievable. And like we talk about the rule of 5, your 5 friends, right? Fucking Andre, like was like one of my mentors. Dude, that guy's fucking jacked. And I don't feel comfortable, if he invites me to a Caravana weekend or even my other friend, I don't know if he's comfortable with me saying his name, so I'm not gonna say his name. But he's a big dude. I'm gonna hang out with him tomorrow. One of my best friends. When he invites me to like Cabana pool bar and shit, these guys are jacked. So my motivation is to just be like that and be ripped, fucking massive, lift weights and stuff. That's one motivation, one goal, one purpose. Healthy, wake up every morning, you're following a routine. I'm doing 2 a day now, like cardio in the morning, weight at night. You know?
I started doing that.
It's the shit,
And
bro.
you know what? If you were in a relationship, you wouldn't have the time for that. You wouldn't be able to do that.
I think the problem is when a girl gets you, she understands that that's a part of your life. But for me, it was like, oh, I spend all day with the dogs. How dare you want to like come late 2 hours after your work, knowing that I'm here stuck with the dogs. You know what I mean? Or like, we need shit in the house. We need milk. We need that. And then, if I decide to stop by the house first, walk the dogs, get milk, it's already 10 o'clock at night. And if I go to the gym and come back at 12, it's a problem. Man, it's just, it's fucked up. It's such a naggy feeling, man. Like, it'll take a very special woman, and for me to live, to give up this life. And I'm vetting, I'm pre-qualifying females right now. Like, even, like I said, there's something I'm working on right now with someone that's completely understandable of the red pill and stuff like that. But I'm not rushing. I'm taking my time. It's all good. You know what I mean? But fuck, man.
I'm at that point now where it's like I'm not chasing sex and I'm not chasing companionship in a way, but what I'm really asking myself when I meet a woman now is, what do you bring to the table? What qualities and what are you going to bring into my life if we're in a relationship? Not how are we going to do this together? I know who I am already. I know where I'm going. What do you bring to the table?
What do you bring to the table? Pussy? Oh, you mean the same pussy I can get anywhere in the whole, like I can get like anywhere in every corner? Is that all you can bring?
There's only one component.
What about like all the other things, the respect and nurturing and like, man.
This thing. Sex obviously is an important part of a relationship, but a whole relationship can't be on sex, right? And as men, obviously, I think at the beginning of for a course, if you just meet a girl, what are you chasing really? Sex, right? Like you don't know this person inside out. You don't know what makes them tick. There's a physical body there. I mean, it may sound kind of rude, but like I remember when I was living overseas, I'll tell you, some of the expats I was working with, and these guys had very successful businesses, made a lot of money, right? And every time we'd turn to this topic or something like that, they would say, they'd read in the news, like, how could this like celebrity, her husband cheat on her, like look at her, she's beautiful. And then he would look at me and he goes, James, show me the most beautiful woman in the world, and I'll show you a man that's tired of fucking her. Bro, I'm like, wow, right?
Mark Anthony cheated on Jennifer Lopez.
Because there has to be more there. So that's what I'm asking myself now. Now that I've been through it a while, of course it's going to get stale, right? It just does. With any men and women too, right? So what are the other components that this woman could bring into my life to make me want to stick around, right? That's the thing and I haven't found it yet. Like, I'm not saying I'm here like, oh, I know what this is, but I know it has to be something more. Otherwise, I will never consider settling down, not even having a girlfriend, quote unquote, right? Unless there's more there than just like the physicality. And quite frankly, in the hookup culture, the way it is now, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free, right? Like, this is sort of like the attitude that it is, right? Yeah. And I didn't create that situation, right? That was there before I got there. Societies and the media is doing a great job of that for me, for you, right? Yeah, every girl jump on Tinder, jump on this, jump on that, let their body counts raise, and then they wonder why they can't hook up with a guy and have some, commitment issues and this and that. Well, that's the way it is.
I had a couple mental breakdowns this summer here, right here. Because, man, I'm 30. I just turned 30 like 3 weeks ago. And I remember this chick I was seeing, this Polish. And I was 29 and she was 33, I want to say. I didn't usually go for older, but she was nice. She was pretty hot. And then when she came over, she was like, you know what, Chris? I never in my life saw myself wanting kids, wanting to settle down. Nothing at all. Like I just wanted to have fun.
Until now.
Now, I really just want that, and I feel like I'm getting old. And she started fucking crying, and this is like our second or third date, you know. And I was like, "Huh, why are you crying? I want to bang you." Like, what the fuck? But like, she started crying and telling me all these things. How like, yeah, like I'm gonna go freeze my ex next month or some shit, cause you know I'm 33. If I meet some guy and I take maybe a year or two to get to know him, then I'm going to be 35. And then I'm going to be a mom by like, I don't know. It's just, and then she starts crying. And then guess what? Anyway, she slept over, but we didn't do anything, whatever. And I was like, it's okay. Don't worry. If something is meant to happen, it will. Don't worry. Don't feel pressure, whatever. Then the week after, Saturday, she messages me. And she's like, hey, you know, I have all these Spanish friends. I want you to meet my Spanish friends. Whatever, I go meet her. I meet her Spanish friends, and we were having a bomb time. Like, but I'm tired, bro. It was Friday night, and I just flew from Ottawa to Toronto, so I was tired. And it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, yo, listen, I'm gonna go home. I'm exhausted. And she's like, we're gonna party until 5 in the morning. What do you mean you're going home? Your grandpa? I was like, yo, I've been up since 7 a.m. and it's 2 o'clock and I'm really tired. So I left. And then she fucking ghosted me for a week. And then I called her back and I said, listen, I don't understand. You're telling me breaking, crying, that you feel like you're getting old and you're running out of time. Yet you're mad at me for leaving at 2 a.m. because you want to party until 5 in the morning. So which one is it?
Yeah.
And then...
Talking on both sides of the mouth.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, whatever. A week later goes by, and then I'm on a date with another chick. I go to this restaurant on Lakeshore, and isn't she there with some other fucking dude? Yeah. and I'm looking at her, and so when I first go into the restaurant, the waiter there, the waitress, she wanted to sit us really close to them, and I was like, no. And I told her, and my date knew. And she's like, what happened? I was like, no, I was actually seeing that girl for a while. Right? We would talk for like a month and a half. But the girl I was seeing was super hot. And I wanted to be seen with that fucking hot girl. But it was so interesting how, like, you telling me with one day that you're running out of time, the other, oh, you're leaving at 2 o'clock. I want to party until 5. Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? And then here I am with a smoking hot 25-year-old fucking Lebanese chick. Yeah. So fuck off, man. Like, these girls I don't know what the fuck they want, but point being is, it didn't even bother me. I was fucking laughing. And had I made woman my purpose, I would have been bothered. But, bro, it's like taking the subway. If you miss one train, guess what? 5 minutes later, there'll be another train.
That is a funny story, and I can recall actually times like there was one time I remember just similar to that. I'm going a few years back here, right? You're 30, right? I'm 40. We got a decade between us, right? I remember in my mid 30s, 33, 34. I had some friends with benefits sort of situations, right? And everything was clear. But you're right. Eventually they would catch feelings, and it would always come to the point. And this one time, this girl was like, listen, I kind of have feelings for you and I want to be with you. And I want you to tell me if we can be together or not. And the ultimatum. Yeah, she gave me the old ultimatum. So, and now personally me, as soon as somebody gives me an ultimatum, just the fact that they gave me the ultimatum, the answer is going to be no anyway, just pretty much on principle, right? But when she did come by one last time, because she wanted to come over and, basically, fuck one last time and then make a decision, right? And boy, did this girl perform like never before.
That's good though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something after though.
But let me tell you something. When she said, and now this whole time, right? She never told me about any other guys. I never knew she's in a relationship, whatever, right? So this is the fucked up thing, right? So I tell her the next morning, I'm like, you know what? It's not gonna happen, so whatever. And she's like, okay, Chris. The next fucking week, guess what happened to her?
She's seeing somebody?
She got married. She had a fucking relationship, fiance, the whole time. And if I had said yes, she would have chose me over this guy. She'd invested this guy. She would have left him at the fucking altar. And so she got married, whatever, right? So, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? So these girls, actually, the agenda they have, right? They're going to go for the highest value male they can at the time they can, available to them, right? Yeah. And when that option wasn't available, she said, okay, well, there's my backup, right? I had another time I was dating this girl for a while. And she was a little older than me at that time. And I remember one time she's like, look, I'm kind of getting older. I really want to have kids. She goes, she presented me with legal documents saying, just sign this. I just want you to be the father. You're under no financial obligation. I'll sign anything you want, right? Here's something with the boy. You know what, man? I was very blue-pilled at the time. At the time, too, I didn't think and I'm a father now, you know that, right? So it's like I couldn't stand the thought of having my son or daughter out there and them not being a part of my life, right? Because I do have those tendencies too. I do want to be a provider, and I do like that idea of being able to put the food on the table, take care of my family. I hope to have this one day, right? I mean, it sounds kind of maybe that blue pill, whatever, but that nuclear family situation, I do crave it, right? I'm happy now. Doesn't mean I don't want it, but I'm not going to sacrifice or risk just to have that and jump into it. Like, for example, that girl. And I don't know if she's happy or not, but I guess she had the baby rabies in a bad way, right? So she's like, well, I've got to do this right now, right? So
I just don't understand. You know, like maybe a girl that I had a history with, and then we started like maybe sleeping again a couple months last summer, right? And all of a sudden she's like, well, I don't think this is going anywhere. And then she started doing all this stupid shit. She started like, I want to wear condoms now. Or like, I only give head to my boyfriend. I'm like, what are you talking about? You suck my cock 1,000 times. You know, and, you know, I had another friend that was in a similar situation. And my advice to her was like, look, you want to trap this guy? You really want to get him? You think that listening to Matthew Hussey or whatever the fuck Tim Jackson is advice that, oh, make them wait, make them work for it. Like, bro, if a guy is iffy about you and like beating around the bush, you telling him that you're not going to go down on him. Well, you think that's going to work? Bro, you should have given him porn star blowjobs for 3 fucking days. Yeah, anything you want. And then he would have fucking think like, you're doing it all backwards. Like, you do it really, I don't understand your logic. Oh, all these rules now. Oh, you know what? I don't want to see you because you just want to sleep and this isn't going any. Like, bro, seduction, work for it. The problem is women don't know how to pick out guys. Women don't have any fucking game. They're used to guys hitting on them.
But, you know, they're taught that they should have it. But they really not. Why would they?
Bro, we spent so much time working on, you know, Tinder openers and the best Hinge, you know, whatever the fuck, and I have it down packed. Like my fucking game when it comes to that stuff was pretty good. I like I said, bro, for the last 6 months, you know, it's only like this maybe was one particular person I'm talking to, but like I'm not rushing, and if it evolves, it evolves. I have a good intuition, but like I said, I'm taking my time. But I'm not making a woman my purpose now, bro. I want to make tons of money. I want to be in sick shape. I want to make YouTube videos, podcasts, I want to get back into modeling. Dude, I have all these fucking ideas that I don't see them happening if I get into a relationship, man. Like, I don't see myself putting all the work, being able to travel for work. You know, I want to go to New York for a conference. Like, imagine all of these fucking things if I had a girlfriend. I can't do it right now.
You can't. And that's the point, right? All these, you know, these beta simps and all these guys running around putting all their effort into trying to get laid, right? Or having a girlfriend. Personally, me, I see now, they just let their life fly by them, right? And if you want to be an entrepreneur, a businessman, or whatever, you want to have high goals of whatever professional development, if you're spending 50% of your time stressing about women, chasing girls on these apps or whatever it is, do you think you're going to accomplish these things? Because I guarantee you, the person that wants that same goal, that is not doing that, they're putting in the work, you know? And I guess also too, like, we don't talk about stuff that Rich says. One thing I like is one-itis, right? Guys thinking there's only that one person out there for them. Yeah, and there's so many. And like, every relationship that has come and gone, I guarantee that person thought this is the one for me.
Oh, bro.
Right?
Put it this way, bro. You know, the person that you know how they say, you know, you have to go to the red pill, and in order for you to go to the red pill is to a traumatic experience, like a bad breakup or something like that. When that's what happened to me. I had a breakup. You had your whatever, divorce, whatever, and whatever, bro. Let's just say that person is with someone else now. Now, do you really think that that's her soulmate? Do you? Bro, it's like they say, it's not yours, it's just your turn. And for me, it's like, if this guy thinks that she's the one, I want to say, bro, before you, it was me who thought the same thing. And before me, there was another 3 guys or 2 other guys that thought the same fucking thing. How do you think that you're the last? Like, do you really think? Are you oblivious? Like, when I meet a girl, am I going to think that I'm the last? What are the odds?
I think
it's like if you look at the statistics, and like, let's just say, what do you say? 78% of marriages end in divorce.
I think it was in the 70 percentile divorce, and then you said what? It's also 80% is initiated by women.
Yeah, well, the majority. Okay, so majority of the marriages end in divorce, and the majority of divorce is initiated by women. And then you said, with those statistics, would you gamble or would you take a chance on anything else in life? Absolutely fucking not.
Nothing. Yeah, you're right. Like, I can't think of one thing. Even like professional gamblers, you think they take those odds? There's a 70% chance that you will get divorced, right? Like, personally, me, the way I look at it, like, who in your right mind, right? You'd have to be so lovesick, or you'd have to be raised with like this whole like Disney-esque attitude that, you know, you gotta like slave and scrimp and right. And I think there is a large generation of men now. We are a generation of men raised by single mothers,
including myself,
right? Dog. Well, my parents separated when I was very young too. I spent the majority of the time with my mother, right? And you know, then I look at it now just empirically, like you look at it objectively, say 70% of marriages will end in divorce and 80% of those will be initiated by the woman. What the hell is wrong with you that you think those are some odds? Like, I would just run like hell, right? Like, I don't know about you. So it's like, I do think even now when you do meet somebody and you're thinking about it, but you know there could be others out there for you. This is not your one and only soulmate forever, right? And you know the percentages. Would you ever want to get married? I just tell you straight, I wouldn't want to do it. I just don't. Right?
I'll never. For me to get married, I'll never get married. And, well, I don't want to say never because what the fuck knows, man. If Madonna wants to marry me right now, I'll marry that bitch because she's fucking loaded, bro. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it's not in my... You know, you asked me that question a year and a half ago, I would have said, like, fuck yeah, I want to marry my girlfriend. She's the love of my life. She's my soulmate.
I remember that time.
You were there. But, yeah, there's absolutely no way. Even if I'm head over heels in love with someone, let's just say that someone who completely elevates me. First of all, the red pill would never allow me to fucking be 1,000% in love with someone, because the red pill kind of always gives you like a signal, like, hey man, watch out, be careful, you know. And it's good to have that because it's the burden of performance. It's like, bro, I know you're in love with this chick and I know things are right, but don't stop fucking working out. Don't stop making money, because the moment you lose your edge is the moment she's gonna lose attraction. Ask me anything.
And this is a little weird, this question, but I've been thinking about this myself, right? And I don't have an answer, so I'm going to ask it to you.
You don't know how big my dick is? Because I won't tell you, bro.
I'm sure there's enough women that have that knowledge that that's probably public domain right now, right? But but do you think, and this is fucked up, but I'm saying, I've been wondering this. Do you think you could have a relationship, maybe even get married to a woman, but also have other women in your life that maybe mean more to you or in different ways and still have a successful marriage? Do you think you could have other aspects in your life, other people, even females around there, right? And I'm not talking about the whole fantasy, like, together forever. Like, you want to have a successful marriage, you have children, right? You have a good functioning nuclear family setup. But you're very realistic and pragmatic about the way it functions. And I'm not saying this would be like full knowledge with the woman, right? But do you think you could live a red pill lifestyle and be married at the same time?
This is something that, because I don't know what it is, that based on my statistics, 80% of my listeners are females, and it's mostly like people, it's mostly females, right? So based on my experience, I've been very fortunate, work at the airport and for different franchises and stuff. And I've met some of the top guys that have like 3 franchises worth millions of dollars, Dude, they all have very successful marriages and they all have side pieces. Yes. I don't know what the fuck it is, but you're asking me if you can have a red pill life and fucking have a successful marriage. Dude, the guys with the best fucking marriages, where the girl respects them, the guys make a shit ton of money, fuck all their bitches, bro. And now they may not have feelings for these other chicks. They only fuck them with their dick. There's not enough feelings attached. But they do it. And I wonder, whoa. And in my head, back in the day, I was like, man, I would never cheat on my girl. It's not that I think I would do it now, but and because I see these other dudes that are completely loyal to them and they don't get any fucking sex. But these other guys that are alpha as fuck other bitches. And this is another fucking thing that Richard and Rollo and everybody says, which is very true, that a woman would rather share an alpha male than settle for a beta loser, a loyal beta loser.
So this is my point, right? And again, in Canada, you talk about stuff like that, they're like, oh my God, that's terrible. You can't. Listen, when I was living in Asia, I'm saying, and I have respect for that culture, like a lot, right? I understand it pretty well, the cultures that I was living at there. Right now, these guys, and forget even the super like successful, like, but guys were doing okay, right? The wives knew that they had girlfriends, that they had, and it was very open. They accepted it. They're like, look, the money's here with me. Yeah. The kids are taken care of. And a lot of them, especially in that part of the world, like, look, as long as the bills are paid and the guy comes home before sunup, not a problem, right? It's when they started fucking with the money and, this and that. But they understood, hey, he needs it. These are needs that he has. That girl means nothing. In 2 weeks, it'll be some other one. It's no big deal, right? I'm the wife. I have control here, right? I have status. I have security. I have resources. I have money. I have maids, I have servants, I have whatever it is, right? My life is good. I'm a happy person, right? And all I have to do is let them run around here and there and it's not an issue. I'll take that deal. Yeah. I'll take that deal all day long, right? But here, you could have everything. Somebody, you go from a waitress making minimum wage or maybe tips or something, right? And then maybe they get picked up by some guy who's worth millions of dollars and he cheats. Like, oh, how could you do that? But you're living like a movie star now. See, like, would you trade it in? Right? I don't know. I'm just being realistic about it, right?
Well, let's look at it this way. When you look at any type of TV show, even the shows that women love, absolutely love, the alpha male of the show fucks other bitches. How fucked up is that, eh? Tony Soprano, how many? Every fucked a he had like 10 Goombas, Every gangster has a Goomba. Every bro, power. The guy fucks all these other bitches, And
women want them more.
Now, I'm not saying that's the key to it, but it's just so weird how that shit works. And it goes to say, man, like women would share an alpha male than settle for a beta loser. It's just what it is. Now, am I saying that you should go and cheat on your girl? No, but I'm just saying you should strive to be an alpha male, because just the fact that older woman wants you, it's enough for your girl to not pull any of this stupid shit that they do when you become a yes man. That's the fucking problem.
I'll say this. Now living a blue pill life for a while and now being a red pill man, and again, I'm probably not the most red pill out there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like sound the trumpet. I'm not like the one leading a charge for anything, right? Like you're putting content out. You're actually trying to help guys out, right? And girls, right? Kind of preach the truth here, right? But you know what? If you don't respect yourself as a man, no woman will ever really respect you as a man either. That is the truth. So if you can't say, "Oh, you don't want to fuck anymore?" Okay, this is finished. That's it, right? Or you don't respect me, like I respect you as my girl, whatever, and you can't respect me as a man.
Yeah.
Then this relationship cannot function,
Yeah.
right? And when guys start bending over backwards and like, oh, she doesn't want to have sex with me anymore, whatever, and they cry like a little bitch about it, right? Because the most miserable people I know, I'm telling you right now, are guys in relationships.
Yes.
That's the truth. Single guys, they might be lonely sometimes, whatever, but you know what? Not even close to these guys. I've seen more lonely men with wives than lonely men that are single.
Yo, bro, it's better to be single. And this goes for girls too, man. It's better to be single than to be in a bad relationship. And, so I came out last year and I said that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. That's something I struggled with my whole life. And I have a whole bunch of groups on Facebook that I'm a part of. And helping people helps me a lot, honestly. Sometimes being somewhat of a counselor or mentor for people that have a harder time dealing with these things helps me, because, whoa, I'm going through a manic episode. I'm having anxiety. I'm going through a panic attack, but I know I'm not dying because when there's other people that are going through panic attacks, I help them. So it's like, when you're the strongest person, who do you go to, right? So it's like I have to remain strong. But the point is, a lot of these people in these bipolar groups, when they go on depressions, they talk a lot about their relationships. And this one chick is like, hey, I'm really depressed in my relationship. I don't know what to do. And everybody's like, what's going on? Is he abusive? Whatever. And I went in, and my comment got 80 likes, right? 80 likes on a comment because I said, people go so fast on assuming that the guy is being abusive. But half the time is because the guy is super nice, super accommodating. But guess what? That means he's super boring. And super chill, and it's not exciting anymore. So that's what's depressing, because she's invested all this fucking time on this guy, and he just doesn't do it for her. And I replied to my comment. She says, "You're absolutely fucking right. He's the nicest guy in the world. I'm just not attracted to him."
So I'll tell you straight, like, and I don't think it's a big secret. I've told you, like, the downfall of all my previous relationships, my marriage and everything, I was so nice that, like, that's the thing, right? I was like, everything you want, let's do it, right? Like, I wanted to be that supportive guy.
Yeah.
And isn't it so fucked that the more you give, the more you care, the more you provide, the worse they like you or end up hating you. They don't want to fuck you.
They resent you.
Yeah, they resent you for it. So I'm like, wait a minute. You'd rather be with a guy that basically treats you like shit.
Well, I learned that,
right?
bro. I learned that now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not the nicest guy in the world now. I don't do it because I'm playing a game. It's just not who I am anymore. When they say who hurt you, whatever, I was fucking hurt 3 times and I'm done. Like, there's no way. Like, I could be very respectful, and if I'm seeing someone, she will have her place. She'll know who she is. Like, she'll know what she means in my life. But dude, to be that type of a yes man, forget it, bro. And guess what? Whoever girl that I end up dating and complains about, oh, you're such an asshole, you're a jerk sometimes. That same girl that would say that to me probably has 1,000 dudes on her DM or Instagram or Facebook that would do anything for her, but she doesn't like them because that's what they are. So let's just get back to the topic, which is being happy, being single. So we talk about traveling, we talk about working out, and we talk about not making woman your purpose. And I think it's just very important to spend time with your friends, and do it all. To me, it goes down to the rule of 5. Like, dude, if you're in a spot when you're the smartest person in the room, you're not in the right room. For sure. If you're in the spot where you're the guy who makes the most money, you might want to be in another room with people that make more money than you. or people that are in better shape than you. You know, is that, dude? We're meant to compete. Like the competition between guys is what drives businesses. It's the reason why we're able to fucking have all these things with Apple and Google and Amazon. It's called competition. That's what makes evolution, you know?
That, to me, that is the nature of the red pill. Right? It's to strive sort of for your own personal excellence. And competition isn't a bad thing. I think competition is a great thing. So it really forces you to reinvent yourself, and it forces you to learn new skills, improve the skills you have, you know. And I think, you know, back to the topic, being single, it allows you to do that a little more freely, in my opinion, because you can totally focus on what you need to focus on and, you know, set your goals, every day work towards your goals. And there's just not that other element in your life. Not to say that it's a bad thing to have a relationship, but me personally, I never achieved so much in all the arenas in my life than I did when I was single. And I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, not having a, you know, quote unquote girlfriend or something like that. So I do think it's important to set your goals and know where you want to go and work towards them. And, you know, if a woman is in your life, at least for me, the way I look at it, she needs to complement what I'm doing, and I'll compliment what she's doing. But, you know, like, my goals are not her goals, and vice versa. Right? So, you know, that's sort of when I think it works best. But yeah, man, you just got to sort of move forward and understand that, you know, like, your life is not less meaningful if you're not in a relationship. Being single can be just as good as being with somebody. I think some women are shocked by that. I remember, you know, especially for 2020, now we're talking about it's a new year, it's 2020, right? Like, everybody's like, what's your goals? What's your goals for the year? And I remember it was some of my family asking me, what are your priorities? And every single thing I listed, and then they looked at me kind of screw-faced for a second, and they're like, you didn't mention women one time. And I was like, well, I have to be honest with you. They're like, on my list of priorities, they're like dead last. Not to disrespect them, but they're just dead last for me. Like, I have no energy to put towards that because I'm putting my energy towards the other things, and I'm so fucking happy achieving these other goals, right? And when she comes around, she'll come around, and if she doesn't come around, that's okay too, right? So, I mean, again, I would say for all the guys out there that think they're nothing without a woman, you're wrong. And if you believe that, that's your own self-belief, and that will be a self-fulfilling prophecy if you let it. But I don't think there's ever one successful person out there that ever looked at a situation saying, I'm nothing without her. You know, that really means what you're telling yourself is you're nothing, period. Right? And vice versa. Would you want to be with a woman that said, I'm nothing without you?
Yeah. Fuck.
No, right? You don't want some, like,
I'd be freaked out.
yeah, like mushy, nobody, you know, latch onto you, whatever. Like, I like women that have goals. I like women that strive for their own excellence. Right? Then you guys come together. You could be like some kind of power couple, right? You're all both on your grind. You both have your goals. You both have your thing. And you can meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that seems to be like the furthest thing, you know, that I've been able to find, right? So until I find that, I'm good just being single, right? Like, living the dream.
That's so true, man. You know, I write down my goals for 2020. They don't involve women at all. You look at 2019. 2019 involved getting married. 2018 involved getting engaged. 2020, I think the majority of my goals involved my health, my physical fitness, my financial goals, and family. That's it. It's travel, my goal and all I've been doing and all the shit I'm spending my money on is just on becoming. I just want to look like John Cena by fucking summertime, bro. So you can't see me. So nobody is gonna see me right now. I'm not taking any pictures, dude. I'm gonna like start. I want to do this crazy transformation, bro. I'll be working on like crazy, but I'm gonna step it up, and I'm gonna get off the radar in terms of my pictures. Maybe I'll post if I post a picture of myself on the social media, which is super addictive. Like, I'm addicted to it because I just have this fucking crazy sense of humor. I like posting memes and stuff, but I'm not posting any pictures of myself. If I do, it'll be with clothes on, maybe a work event. But bro, give me until July. Watch, and
I'll even give you to August if you want.
no, bro. I think June is like. First of all, I want to finish my sleeve, my tattoo. Like I want to finish that. But I want to get so fucking jacked, man. And all I'm gonna do between now and then is work out and work, make money, and that's it. Yeah. That's it. Like I don't care for anything else.
I can understand completely. I mean, I have a lot of similar goals. I mean, my goal now that I'm well on track for, based on my estimation personally, would be in the best physical condition at 40 than I've been in my whole life. Okay. And I know I'm gonna hit it. Maybe even taking on some big challenge, maybe doing some photo shoot like you're saying, or even some kind of show maybe, and really, really, seeing what I can do just for, personal growth. But that's what it is, man. And it's like, again, it's like what these guys don't realize is running around for a relationship and not working on yourself. You're not going to get that kind of attention. You won't be able to attract the kind of women that you would really want. When you're living on your purpose, you're working towards your excellence. I find, at least personally, women gravitate to men that are on their purpose. They're working for their goals, and they like, wow, that guy knows where he's going in life. Yeah. That guy's succeeding in things. He knows how to accomplish things. I want to be a part of that. I want a man like that. I think that's why, again, every time you're in a relationship, half the time with me, I just wanted to get out of that relationship. Right? And now not being in one, you kind of have more women than you can handle. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of fucked up that it turns out like that. Yeah. Right? But I wish there could be a collective awakening in some way. Yeah. That all the guys would wake up and kind of see these things. But then again, it wouldn't make guys like us sort of special, right? We'd be still sleepwalking through life. That my goal is to get a career to spend, what is it? Is it 10 or 20% of your salary for a ring? They even tell you how much you have to spend on a ring.
3 months.
Did you know that engagement rings is only something that was invented like in the last 100 years? Did you know that?
What?
Engagement rings themselves? That's only like 100-year sort of development.
Oh, yeah. They have, what do you call it? Adam Ruins Everything? Adam Ruins Everything talks about engagement rings, and it's all like a marketing scheme. Like all of this shit, like make her happy, buy her a ring.
Like divorce and Disney are in a collusion or something.
Yeah, it's like so stupid, man. Honestly, if you guys can take away anything from this podcast, can't believe it's been over like an hour now. It's the fact that, when you're single, don't feel alone. Make yourself your priority. Make your fitness your priority, your goal, your financial situation, because yeah, we talk about it's easy to get women. Well, and then if you're like, yeah, it's easy for you to say because you guys, are decent looking, whatever. Well, dude, honestly, if you're in a position where women won't look at you right now, guess what?
That's your fault.
You can always make more money and you can always get in better shape. So work towards that, because really, how many ugly dudes you see with hot chicks? Join a PUA community. I belong to so many of them. They teach you so many things.
I thought you were gonna start one yourself, the PUA community.
It's hard, man. I don't have the time. I wish I did. I wish I had time to do. I got invited to a fucking mastermind, PUA master. Bro, I think it's tomorrow. We should go. Hold on, let me just check. This guy invited me to this fucking PUA mastermind. Some random dude. Hang on a second. Oh, it's tomorrow night. Oh, it was tonight. Yeah, that's what it is. But any final thoughts?
Detriment. It can be a strength, and whether eventually, you never say never. I'm sure I will be in another relationship eventually, and these are things that I would want. I'd like to have more kids. I like that. I like being a father. That for me is the best thing in life, being a dad. But I can say one thing, and I guess you've heard this. I think Donovan said this. I think, entrepreneurs in cars would say this, right? But, like, men are the one that you go through your struggle to strive to your goal, but women wait at the finish line and they wait for the winner. Yes. So the only thing in my mind is to prepare yourself to be that guy at the finish line. And then you could basically take your pick. And that's sort of what's in my mind.
Women don't care about the struggles, bro. It's one thing, man. Like, this podcast isn't about women, but we kind of made it about, like... It's just what it is when you take the red pill.
When you're single, you're absent female, so it really is part and parcel.
Yeah. But, dude, I would say, man, just work your ass off, and when you have a girlfriend, like, how do I put it? Being frugal, trying to be affluent and frugal with a female these days is stupid. It's not gonna work. The whole thing. Let's start getting coupons, and let's move in your mom's basement so we can save money. That's not gonna work, bro. She's gonna leave you because there are dudes with more money. Forget trying to be frugal. That shit doesn't work. You know, you saying, hey, you know, I'm gonna sell my car and take the bus. Like, bro, if you have a girlfriend, don't, like, just work extra harder. Don't cut off your lifestyle like that dramatically. And if you don't have a girlfriend, especially, just save to put yourself in a better position financially, because women don't give a fuck. They don't give a flying fuck, bro. If, you know, the moment you start cutting budgets and say, hey, baby, let's move. You know what, man? That shit's what happened to me, bro. Moving to a fucking mom's basement to save money. That's when everything started going downhill, dog. You know, like, everything is just... Trying to be affluent in a relationship, that was for like the people that came in from like Italy and Russia, and then they had nothing, and they went through all these things together and immigrated to other countries. That's that. Like, these days, forget it, bro. Because think about it, you're trying to cut budgets and start getting coupons and start saving money, and then there's another dude better looking than you with a little bit more money and more game than you. You don't think she's gonna monkey branch?
First off, there'll always be another guy with more money, better car, better body, bigger dick, whatever you want to say, right? That will cause them to monkey branch or whatever they do. That, you know, that is what it is, right? And talk about going on a budget. Most guys overextend themselves. That was my thing, right? Oh, this apartment's not good enough. We need a house. Oh, this is not we need a bigger car. So now you're going into debt and doing all these things, you know, just trying to appease maybe what your spouse or you know, your girlfriend wants, right? And now you feel like you're obligated to provide these things. Why? That's one of the great benefits of being single too, as a man. I'll tell all the brothers listening out there, right? Is, you know, you live the life you want to live, right? Be comfortable with it, be happy with it, right? I mean, it's great to want more things and excel and make money and all that, but do you have to be the flashiest guy in the room? No. Now, would you get attention for it? Yeah. Sure. But I know guys worth a lot more money that are very low key than guys without a pot to piss in that look like they have all the money in the world, right? What's going to sustain you long term? You know, and that's what guys don't understand, I think, too. It's like, what impresses a woman? Having nice clothes? No, it's having a fucking house. It's owning real estate. You know what I mean? It's having security. It's having these things. That can sustain a relationship. Yeah. You know, so like, who are you living for? Are you living for you, or are you living for everyone else? What I realized recently too, and I'll end off with this as my final thought, is that we seem to spend, especially as men, our whole lives trying to look good for other people, right? Look, I have this, I have that, for the women, for the other guys, right? You want the alpha male pack leader sort of thing. But then when I had this epiphany, and Chris, you'll appreciate this. Are you ready for this one? Just get ready for your mind to explode, okay? They're all doing the same thing, bro. Everybody's trying to look good for you too. Yeah. In reality, I realized, wow, they're just looking good for me the way I am, so I just didn't give a fuck. Yeah. Just do your thing, right? Well, how empowering is that?
You want to know something that opened my eyes recently? What's up? With social media and all that stuff, that every time I hear something about being a real man, it involves benefiting a female. Real man will open the door.
Well, you man up.
Man up. Yeah, right. You know, a real man will provide. A real man will forgive her for cheating. A real man will take a woman and raise her child. A real man. So it's only a real man when it benefits the woman. Right? Oh, but then I'll say a real man will fight for custody for his kids. You know what I mean? I've never heard that. No. A real man will leave his wife because he's unhappy.
Yeah, so really saying a real man is a blue pill sandwich.
Yeah, a real man is a blue... Fuck out of here, bro. A real man will leave his wife because he's miserable. A real man will fucking fight to death for custody of his children. A real man will fuck all his bitches. You know what I mean? A real man... Bro, a real man will make a woman pick him up and go to his house and shit. Stop with this real man, bro. Fuck that shit. Fuck that noise.
I'll agree with you. Fuck all that shit, man. Fuck that.
bro.
Yeah, you know, any man that says he wouldn't rather be single, have wealth, have self-satisfaction, have a harem of women, have all these things, but instead of that, he'd say, no, I want to settle down with Little Miss Perfect and have some kids, and I want to be told how to live, how to dress, what to drive, what to do, what kind of job to do, where we're going to go on vacations, what we're going to buy. That man's a fucking liar. That's what I'll tell you that.
I don't know, man. I think that there's people that just, dude. Oh man, nothing hurts me more when I hear a guy's horror story about his divorce and stuff, and then he's with some chick now,
Ready to do it all again?
and she's calling the shots, and I'm like, bro, you just told me that you went through hell and that you for like 10 years you couldn't see your 3 daughters, and now all of a sudden women are better and this new chick you're talking to is better, and
You know what society would say that guy was?
a
real man.
Okay. All right. So on that note, you real man.
All real men.
And the woman that listened to this, thank you and take care. Bye-bye.
So dark, can't see a thing. I hear a song of the broken beat. Give me nickel, give me dime.